Happy Creative Card Wednesday, everyone. I've got a great challenge for us this week. So, did you know there are only 11 days until Easter? It's sneaking up on me fast. But anyways, so that's why we are doing an Easter card challenge, so I can get some of my Easter cards made. I am going to be using the stamp set Daffodil Daydreams. It has a nice Easter greetings stamp. And let's see what else. Oh, I'm going to give you some tips for tearing your paper. All right, so let me pull up my, oh, come on, where are you? There you are. Whoops, posts. Facebook always has changes all the time. I'm always looking for stuff. Here we go. Now I can swipe and see your, look at all of you this morning. I love seeing all your smiling names and smiling pictures too. Those of you who have your pictures up there too, love it. Jill and Debbie and Melinda and Deb and another Melinda. Love it. Good morning, you all. Okay, let's see. For those of you who don't know me, and this is your first time here, maybe you're watching me on the YouTube channel, or you're here live with us. Good morning, hello, welcome to Creating with Kristina. And I come live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on my Facebook page. Let me pull that up there so you can see that. And that is at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So I know it's real early on the West Coast, a little better time on the East Coast, but I'm here in the middle in Texas. Okay. And let's go on and before we get started, oh my gosh, so, whoops, there we go. Before we get started, I want to remind you all, connection failed. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. Hold on, my iPhone disconnected. Just a second. Okay, desktop mobile stopped. Allow, there we go, connect. And there I am. All right, let's put this back up here. Not sure why that happened. I hope it doesn't happen again. Okay, what was I talking about? Yes, here we go. My card kit for April. All right, if you are not, I want to get that in focus. Come on. Please get in focus. Hold on, you all. Just patience, patience. Okay, that looks a little better. There we go. All right, so those of you who order my card kit every month, this month, it is birthday cards with this cute, adorable little Viking guy and his little boat. And here's another one using the boat. And here's another one using the boat. This one also, I will be scoring the cardstock for you and cutting out the shapes for you. All you have to do is stamp, color, and put it together. All right, and then also this precious little girl, and she's so cute. And it says, you're strong, brave, you've got this. All right, you're strong and brave for a birthday, or you're strong and brave for whatever new adventures in your life. Awesome. Okay, so if you want to know more about that, just message me. Let's continue with today's card challenge. And before we do today's challenge, let's find out who won last week's challenge. So I need to pull up a picture of our winner. There it is. And sorry, I try to do all of this ahead of time, but sometimes my computer's just being a little slow this morning. Come on, pictures, there you go. Okay, and our drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Congratulations to Sue Platt. Yay! And this is her card she made last week. We did a card sketch challenge where I had the diagonal and then you had like a round circle center type thing here. I love her bunny kicking and hopping and the little Easter eggs. Very pretty. Thank you for entering, Sue, and congratulations. I'll be sending you a prize. And those of you who have won in the past, if you have not received your prize, be patient. I hate blaming it on the postal service, but you know that is exactly what it is. And I'm not sure what is going on, but I lost connection to my iPhone again. This is not good. All right, you all, we might need to say some prayers because this can't keep going. We are going to be in so much trouble. All right, try it again. Okay. And it's blurry again. Oh, my goodness. We're just having a day, aren't we? Well, let's just go on and get started. So the card that I'm making, I am using, like I said, the Daffodil Daydream stamp set here, and it says Easter Blessings. It also has Happy Mother's Day on there too, and we've got Mother's Day coming up. What I love about this stamp set is not only can you stamp and then they've got the cutouts for the stamped image, they also have the pieces of daffodils to put together like a little puzzle, paper piecing, and you create your own daffodils by putting the pieces together. So that is way cool. Love that. All right, so I'm using a 4 1/4 by 11 card base because it's going to be easier to wrap my ribbon around. And I pulled out the pansy paper. If you're not familiar with our designer paper, we have quite a few different varieties right now, but this paper is retiring on May the 3rd. So if you liked this pansy paper and you want to get some more before it goes away, be sure to get some. All right, so we've got this, and then here I've already stamped and cut out my daffodils. Okay, and then also my Easter blessing. Now check out this tag here. This tag comes from one of our newer stamp sets that's in the new catalog, and this die right here, there's a big one and a little skinny one, and what they do is they leave some opening here for ribbon. So we're going to be attaching this with some ribbon. That's going to be fun. All right, and so that is in the Wave of Inspiration bundle. Okay, that to the side. The first step after we get our card base is we need some designer paper, and I have cut my designer paper at 1 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay, actually this is still at 6. I still need to trim the bottom, but I can do that when I attach it to the card, and I can use the card base as a guide. But you also want to decide, you're going to have these papers, and they're going to layer on top of each other like this, and we're going to tear this one here. So decide which design you want for your tearing. And I like using a more solid color for the tearing piece because, and this is the tip I want to show you, when you tear, you want that torn look. You are going to pull the piece that you're throwing away or going to use on another project up towards you. So the piece you're using, and I'm going to pull this up so you can see it better. Okay, you see that white kind of tear, that layer in between the two pieces there. You can see that. Where you don't see it on the piece that you're pulling up, you see it on the back side. Okay, so that is your tip. Be sure to pull up the side, the piece that you do not want to use on the project. And now my second tip. See how I have my two fingers put together here in the back? This fingernail or this fingertip, which it's a nail for me, it may just be your fingertip, is doing all the work. These two are just kind of keeping the tear where I want it. And I'm following, this is pattern paper, so it's easy. I'm just following that pattern on the way down. But if you don't have a guide, just remember to use a finger's width, and that should keep you at the same width. Okay, so those are your paper tearing tips for this morning. Hope they were helpful. Okay, so now I have my paper here, and I have this paper. Before we mess with all this, let's get our piece that we're going to be working with. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I feel a little close, and I feel like y'all can't see as much. There we go. Whoops, I didn't want y'all to see that. I'm going to show that at the end. I'm going to show you another one that I made at the end. Okay, this piece is what I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to attach all of this to my base. So let me put my base to the side and get this out. And now I'm going to get some scrap paper out. One thing I'm saying a lot, I apologize. One thing I am not a big fan of is a blank white background. I will either echo an image. If I stamp it directly here, I'll echo it with maybe a blue for the sky or a tan for a shadow. But in this case, I am going to be popping these daffodils up on dimensionals, so I just need something in the background like a splatter. Well, this stamp set actually comes with a splatter stamp. So I'm going to give you a hint, a tip on how to use this so it doesn't look so If you just take it and stamp, 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 it's just going to look like lines of stamp. I'm going to show you how to move this around, and they have it cut in such a way that you can stamp, then turn it around and stamp, and turn it around and stamp, and so it looks like the splatter is all one stamp, okay? So we're going to tap it here in our soft succulent, and I'm having this side that has more kind of a uneven edge. You can see how these dots are kind of all in a line down here. These are more scattered up at the top. So I want that to be the top of my splatter, and I'm just going to stamp. Now tap again, but this time turn it around. Do you see that little bit of gap there? All right, and you see these little gaps here? Okay, so I am going to stamp right there. And now I'm going to turn it back around, and you've got that gap there, okay? And we can stamp right there. And you just keep going back and forth until you're happy. Okay, and I'm going to do it one more time. Yeah, one more time. There we go. And now when you look at it, it looks a little more random than just stamping down the thing. Now if you want some spots here and here, just take the end and come in here, and this is why we have paper to protect our surface, and just put a few there, and then come over here and put a few there, and now it's filled in a little better. All right, so there we go. We've got a really nice background. Let me close up my ink. How we doing? Gloria Bear is watching. Oh, I always forget to check my comments. Oh, and yes, I did put, I want to show you all this. For those of you who watch me all the time and you see that I forget to turn my sound on, I put this at the top of my notes. Check sound. I'm just so frustrated when I forget that. But anyways, okay. Put that away. We've got that. We've got that. Now let's get our base back, and let's put all this together. So I want to start with my bottom layer, and this is going to be put on the side here. Okay. So take my tape runner. There we go. And I'm going to put some tape at the top and at the bottom and on the side here. And that should be enough. And like I said, this is 1.5 inches. And I made it kind of wide. I'm going to overlap the yellow piece. And so I'm giving myself like a 1/2 inch to overlap. You could, if you were into saving more paper, just do 1.25 inches. But, and then see how that sticks out on the side. When I'm done, I'm going to cut that off. But let's finish doing this. So this one I need on here. And like I said, if you have grid paper, I want about 1 inch of my first designer paper to show. So this one is going to go right there. Okay. And we're just going to put some adhesive up here and down here. Maybe one in the middle. Okay. There we go. And finally, the splatter one is going to go on here, and it is cut at 2 3/4, okay? 2 3/4. Looking up here, I've got Ann watching, and Laurel, and another Ann watching. Thank you all so much. Love having you here. Okay, and we're just going to put that on there like that. And now this time I'm going to put some here on the edge so that the, whoops. That's why we have paper to protect our surface. Anyway, so that, I can't even remember what I was talking about now. All right, so we have this layer, and we want to put that on there. Okay, she looks really nice, but we need to trim all this off on the bottom. So get out your snips, your scissors, turn your card over, and use the card base as a guide. And so we're just going to, perfect. And now it's all nice and clean, and it's all cut straight. The reason I like doing that is if I cut my designer paper a little awkward, I mean a little, like I've cut them both at 5.5, but maybe they're not exactly 5.5, you'll have some gaps, and it just makes a nice clean edge when you let it overlap and then cut it off. All right, so that's another tip. Love all these tips. Okay, so we have our card base. Let's get some daffodils on here. Okay, make sure that's where I am. Yeah, so you're going to stamp color and cut out your daffodils or whatever flower you're using. You may not have the daffodil stamp set, or you may want to get it. You know that for those of you who are new and you're not familiar, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I sell Stampin' Up! Products on my in my shop, and if you would like more information about that, just message me and I'll send you a link. There is a link in the description of the YouTube channel, and there of course is a link on my blog. All right, so we're going to stick this daffodil down flat, but we're going to pop this one up. So let me get some dimensionals. And whoops, what is that? Oh, I pulled the top off of that piece. That's all right. There we go. That one. That one. How are we doing, everybody? Yes, I've got Laurel still watching and still oh gosh, I need to scroll. Goodness. Michelle, hey there, Michelle. Are you on vacation, girl, for your birthday? Are you looking at birds yet? I forgot what day you said you were leaving. I knew you were leaving soon. And Debbie Spicer says, I love daffodils. Me too, Debbie. I have a whole bunch in my front yard. They're gone now, but that's Texas for you. They come and then they go. Okay, so we have our daffodils on here. And now for the fun part. Okay, remember this tag I made with this really cool little cutout? This ribbon is retiring because it's in one of our retiring colors, the bumblebee. And so I want to use this bumblebee. And what I'm going to do, and plus I love gingham, I'm going to wrap it twice. This opening here is really wide, and it looked kind of skimpy when I just did the one little one. So I'm going to do it twice. So I'm going to make sure I have enough room, open it all the way up. Make sure I have enough ribbon to wrap. So there we go. That looks good. And then come around this side. And we're going to have our bow over here. Woo, here we go. Over here. So we don't really need that much ribbon. We can shorten it a little bit. There, that looks good. Okay, and then you can either trim it or tie it while it's on there, but because I have a tag I'm messing with, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And this is really simple. You just go in, under, and back up. Isn't that fun? I love that. Now, of course, if you want to be real fancy, you could do both of them in and back up. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Okay. All right, so there we go. Go in and up. Okay. There we go. And now wrap it. Make sure it's even. Yeah, see how when I did that, I messed up my length. Not a big deal if you just tug it. There we go. And now you've got to do that under and up with this one too. Now this is going to be a little more difficult because it's attached. That's okay. There we go. Because we can tighten it once we get it put together. There, oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, and now let's just tie it. So we'll just take my two ends here and tighten it. Bring it up here. And are y'all familiar with these clamping tweezers I use to tie bows? If you're not, I'm going to get them out here in just a sec, if I can find them. Here they are. Hello, Margaret is watching. Oh, Betty says bluebonnets are everywhere. They sure are, Betty. When I went on the women's retreat out in East Texas, oh my gosh, it was so fun driving the highways here in Texas. Our highways are just full of bluebonnets. Love it. Okay. All right. My little fingers are not cooperating. Let's try this again. Well, yeah, that is kind of, you know what? I'm going to do the loop with the shorter one. All right. And then wrap with the longer one. There we go. Boom. Okay, so these clamping tweezers, everybody says, where do you get them? Where do you get them? Well, I got them from a craft store years ago, but I put a link on my blog under must-have tools, and there is an Amazon link to where you can get a pair of your own. But they're awesome when tying bows. Okay, now that the bow is made, now we just kind of do some adjusting, make everything all pretty. Okay, come on. I like it to separate a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to trim off those ends. A nice clean cut. There we go. And we are finished with our Easter card. And I said I had another one when I was making this to make sure I knew how to do it correctly. I did it in Calypso Coral. So you have yellow daffodils and coral daffodils. There you go. I hope you all enjoyed today's card challenge, and I can't wait to see what you all create.